Believe it or not, marketing strategies other than going online not only exist, but they are alive and well. The trick, just like with any other strategy, is to make sure it fits the goal. My guest today helps his private practice clients grow profitably, and we're going to have a good wrap session on this one. I'm Carl White, principal at Market Advisory Group, which is a healthcare marketing agency, and I'm also the host of Practice Care. The mission for both is the same, and that's to help private practice owners stay private. It's usually what they want, but care is better when it's the provider of care who also owns the practice, because then we can make sure that any decision that's got to get made, clinical, business, whatever, is made by those who also have to care for patients. So we can feel pretty damn confident that the needs of patients are always top of mind. My guest today, my returning guest today, is Joe Lessard. Joe is a partner at Professional Business Management, the healthcare practice management and accounting firm in the Northwest Chicago suburbs. Joe has been with PBM since 2009 and a principal since 2020. He has attained designations as a certified public accountant, health practice advisor, and as a certified healthcare business consultant. He believes in rolling up his sleeves and is usually on site visiting his clients' operations firsthand. Joe is responsible for all accounting and payroll services, as well as personal and business tax returns for his clients. He helps them review operations and day-to-day aspects such as HR, employee benefits, retirement plans, collections, billing, and patient interactions. Every client has different needs, and that's why Joe's commitment to his clients' needs and his customer service is what he prides himself on. Welcome back once again. I think this is like number 5 or 6 for us.
I think I've lost count, but something like that.
And we could do like,
And I mean that in the best way possible.
yeah.
Been a lot of information sharing.
Yeah, we could do 50 or 60. I mean, it wouldn't even be that hard. So
Yes.
we just get going. So we're talking about marketing strategies other than online. Taboo, God forbid we talk about such things, but we're going to do it anyway. But first, for those who don't know you or don't remember you, tell us more about you, the firm, get us going.
Yeah. I'm Joe Lessard. I'm a CPA, EA, a certified healthcare business consultant, as you mentioned already.
Mm-hmm.
Our firm has been around a super long time, since 1932, and all we focus on is healthcare, private practice owners.
Mm-hmm.
So in the medical, dental, veterinarian space, that's all we do.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to get involved early and often, as with my other colleagues as well, starting from when you're an associate, get out of school to the time you look to buy your own practice or start your own practice, and helping you navigate that in the next 30 plus years of running a practice, and then coming time to sell and retire and think more of a financial planning side of things. So the whole life cycle of your professional career.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was going to, kind of hit on that and ask you about that. You see all types of practices in all types of business stages. And the relevance of that is to say, what a startup needs to do for marketing is, different could be than a mature practice, or one that's selling, or one that's dental versus medical, specialty versus general. And we're not going to like make this massive flow chart and make this really complicated. But nevertheless, just dear listener, if you hear what you think is a cool idea today, you just got to match it up to what stage you are compared to what we're talking about, because that matters too. Each of us sees a lot of good ideas that are misplaced given the realities on the ground of competition, life cycle stage, whatever. So that's kind of part of the overall message here. So let's just jump right into it. Offline marketing, again, God forbid, we talk about this. Google's 1,000 years old. ChatGPT and such are not new either, but offline still works. So what are some of the more common offline strategies you see working with your clients?
Yeah. So again, there's certainly a place, and money needs to get spent on the online stuff, right?
Sure.
The Google SEO, the social media, all that is. I'm not saying to exclude that, because all that's
Correct.
super important.
Mm-hmm.
My number one suggestion for all my clients is to get involved in the community you're in.
Mm-hmm.
The more people see you, the more people get to experience you beyond
Mm-hmm.
how you are bedside or chairside, right?
Mm-hmm.
The more you seem like a person, the more
Mm-hmm.
people start to experience, quote unquote, the real you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's worth a lot.
Yes.
And so there's usually that kind of involvement doesn't really, financially isn't nearly as expensive as the Google SEO, paid ads, all that stuff. It's it's a
As they
fraction.
can be, not necessarily. Yeah.
Certainly can be,
Yes. Yes.
but usually it's a lot cheaper. However, there's more time.
Mm-hmm.
Time is worth money.
Time is a resource also. That's
It
true.
absolutely
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
And so you don't may not pay for it necessarily, but you are spending some quality time.
Yeah.
But that is quality time worthwhile, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I have people getting involved in, uh, you know, Cub Scouts or Girl Scouts or different sponsorships of different sporting activities or the park district, or whether that's getting involved in the PTA or getting
Mm-hmm.
involved in the school, the
Mm-hmm.
library, right? The more involved you are in the community you work, the the more your name gets spread. It's just different. It just
Yeah.
feels different
It is.
for people.
You're a three-dimensional person. It's funny. I think of remember when you were like in middle school and you saw your teacher at the grocery store and it was like the most freaking foreign thing ever. Like
Yeah,
people just want to get used to you and just they see you in more places. Yeah, totally agree. Totally
yeah,
agree.
yeah.
And you made another point. It was unrelated. Your budget, your marketing budget is money plus time. It just is. They're both valuable resources, as you know. We all treat time like valuable resources. We just forget to put a dollar value on it. And if one is short, the other's got to compensate. So if you're a startup, you probably have a very shoestring budget, money budget, but maybe you have more time. Together, they have to equal enough. Um, they just do. And the other part is there's so many ways to get involved in your community. Any community with any kind of population has families and people. And yeah, and do you have to be everywhere? Like walk in the neighborhoods? No. Um, Sponsor a little league team, just start looking around. I mean,
Yep,
and that's kind of a throwaway statement, but
yep.
yeah. So that's one good example. Yeah, I think that's a great example. Or just a great theme. And I got to tell you, I think of like our former family orthodontist, super well established in the community. Every January, they would have a meeting. What are we sponsoring this year? Could you look at his business and say, does he really need to do that? Yeah, maybe not, but he does it anyway because he
Hmm.
knows the value of it. He
Yep.
knows the value of it. And then there's a friend of mine who's got a dental practice in one town and he lives 30 minutes, 30, 15, 20 miles away. And every time I see him, like, so you moving up? I mean, your life would be better. People would see you. Yeah, we like the city. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, some
You know,
people really don't want, as my startups go, or people that are looking to buy a practice. I'm a big proponent of, you know, buying or starting a practice where you live, or
yeah.
vice versa.
Yeah.
Because again, you are more tied to that community. Some of
Mm-hmm.
my very successful startups. So from ground zero patients from day one,
Mm-hmm.
because they are so tied to that community. Cheerleading and football is really big here in
Mm-hmm.
all our neighboring towns. So if you are involved in one of those, you've got like I'm not to be a stigma. Yeah, like a cult following
Yeah.
immediately,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
I don't mean in a bad way. Like you
Yeah.
have this huge following immediately,
Yeah.
and that's what she did, and she is so successful.
Mm-hmm.
She was profitable on a month, after year one immediately.
Wow.
Like, it's just
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. What are some other ones that you see work?
Yeah, so usually, there's some sort of involvement in the Chamber of Commerce. That's
Mm-hmm.
kind of a slow burn. Usually get them involved with any sort of like grand opening and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But again, a lot of these things are usually kind of a slow burn. People have gotten involved in their local farmers markets.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the flyers, the mailers that go out are
Mm-hmm.
some that people do.
Mm-hmm.
That's one that it can be expensive,
Mm-hmm.
and it takes a while. It's repetition. I think
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to tell you this, Carl, but for our listeners here, marketing, it's all about consistency.
Mhm. Takes
So
time to get you, listener.
it's
You know.
not just one thing. You got to keep doing it, being consistent. Whether
Yep.
you're doing it once a week or once a month or every 2 weeks or something like that, you have to be consistent.
Yep. I've had one or
Um,
two. It doesn't come up often. We don't do mailers, but we talk about it with clients every once in a while. And it'll be the conversation will go something like, I've got this budget. I'd like to do 2 or 3 mailers. What do you think? And I always say, save your money.
yeah,
Save your money because it's not going to work.
yeah,
Think about yourself, client X. You get a mailer. What do you do with the first one? You toss it or you ignore it. You're so busy. So is everybody else. It takes a while to break through all that. So,
it's
but
got to
then
be.
on the other end, you
I think
hear
at least
like,
6 months.
yeah, and I hear about other people who run them quite well. And the number one reason they work is we've been doing this every month for 3 years.
Hmm.
And yes, you're in the hole to start, but eventually you hit break even and then you keep going and it's just not overnight.
Yeah. Um, you know, Partnering with other businesses. I was at
Mm,
a dental client of mine, and we were part of our monthly meetings that we do with all of our clients.
hmm
And someone was walking by his office. He's got a very nice office, very on the corner, a lot of windows, a lot of
hmm
visibility, a lot of people walking in all the time.
hmm
And he had someone just kind of stop and walk, and eventually came in the office and started talking to the doctor, and found out that he actually owns a fitness gym, a few buildings down.
Okay.
And I'm like, well, there you go. You guys partner. It's all health minded, right? There's opportunities, fitness, health, all this stuff. You guys can partner to do something together.
hmm
You both have plenty of energy. You guys both have plenty of following. Like, this
hmm
is a great opportunity for you guys to do something
hmm
together.
hmm
And now you're getting patients back and forth or
hmm
clients back and forth. It's a win-win.
Yeah. Are they still talking or like, what are they
Yeah,
doing?
this literally happened. I think, was it last week?
Yeah.
I was at their office.
Yeah.
So they're starting conversations about what they want to do.
Yeah. And I could think of two things. One is elevate your sort of brands together as we are the health conscious people. I mean, I wouldn't say
Hmm.
it that way, but
Yeah.
that's something you can do. The other one is some sort of, it's difficult, I was going to say some, I don't know, some sort of co-patient, whatever referral or something. It gets complicated. You can do it. I'm not arguing against it, but just keep in mind, again, that doesn't make things necessarily go faster. But the idea of we are the health conscious, this is how much we care about health. We're working together to talk about each other, whatever it might be.
Yep.
And that's very, yeah, which
Yeah.
raises, what if in your town, I've only seen one chamber local to us do this, where they had like a special interest group amongst the chamber members who are all healthcare practitioners of one kind or another. And it was difficult. I was like, I like this. I mean, it's a common interest, and who knows what could come out of it,
Yeah.
even if it's idea sharing.
Yeah.
What else have you seen?
It's just time, I'm not sure when this podcast will air, but
hmm
again, end of the year, holidays, food
hmm
drives, community service
hmm
are great ways to give back. So you not only feel good about doing something,
hmm
but it works as a good team building
hmm
opportunity for you and your staff.
hmm
But also you're promoting yourself in
hmm
essence, right? So
hmm
it's a very good way to you give and you get at the same
hmm
time.
Yep.
Kind of more of a unique thing that I worked with one of my clients on, and they've been doing it for a while now. And administratively, there's some things you have to navigate, but
Sure.
they started a 5K, and
Wow.
they were having an image problem in there. They spent all the money on Google SEO and all that. It was great, but they had a kind of a patient kind of satisfaction survey,
Yeah.
that the theme was common, that they just had an image problem.
Hmm.
Their people were short with their patients. The timing of in the waiting room was too long.
Wow.
And just they had an image problem. People weren't
hmm
friendly.
hmm
And so what better way to spend you change that, then trying to be more friendly, trying to get more involved in the community.
Mm-hmm.
And so they did that. And again, health-minded OBGYN practice.
Okay.
They started a 5K, and they've been doing it for a number of years now. And every year it keeps growing, and it's all focused on giving back, right? But it's also they're getting something in return, right?
Yeah.
More of their image is portraying more than just delivering the next baby, but which is important and
Yeah.
sensitive and all that stuff. But you're really trying to give back in the same token there.
And have they noticed that kind of working?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Great. Did they address the shortness and the sort of direct? I hope.
Yes, yes.
Thanks for the run, but front desk still sucks. Yeah, you don't want
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah.
Okay. How do you recommend your clients think through this? I mean, we've talked about a couple things, time and money, consistency. Maybe those are the things, but um, when we need more patients. It's probably, we're not growing enough or in any way, shape, or form. And the talk turns to how to do that. Talk turns to marketing. How do you counsel patient or your clients to think through what to do, how to do it, what not to do?
I think a wise person once told me, what are your goals, right? And
Mm-hmm.
what do you want?
Mm-hmm.
What are you trying to achieve? What's your target?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now let's think about what we can do to achieve those things first.
Mm-hmm.
Like let's not just let's start to quantify this,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because if you leave it so vague, so open-ended, you will never achieve your goal.
No.
Let's quantify what we want or need. Let's
Mm-hmm.
start with what we need.
Mm-hmm.
And if in a perfect world that let's target something higher than what you want, right? But let's start with what you need.
Yeah.
Um, and then, okay, if we need X, then how do we get there? Is it a scheduling issue, or is it an image issue? Do we need to market more services? Can we add on these services to market towards our existing patients, or potentially attract new patients?
Mm-hmm.
What are our competitors doing for their marketing efforts
Mm-hmm.
outside of the online, the social media stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's take a page out of their playbook. Maybe there's things that we can
Yeah.
that they're already doing.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to, because they're already doing it.
Yeah.
And look at other areas too, not just your area. What are other people in your industry, or your kind of, whether you're a general dentist or you're an OBGYN or what have you, what are other practices doing outside of your area that you can use as inspiration
Yeah,
in your area?
exactly. You don't necessarily have to come up with a first to the world idea. You
No,
probably, if you're paying attention to your area, you know who's doing stuff well, or at least you have an idea.
right, right.
I mean, just because somebody sponsors a little league team doesn't mean you can't. I mean, you know what I mean? For example,
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, agreed.
And online, Google is your friend,
Yeah,
right? And you can type in unique marketing ideas,
you
and
can.
ChatGPT is your friend, right?
Yeah,
These are tools. Use technology for these tools that you can have, right? And
yeah,
there's a lot out there.
yeah.
So you don't have to be the most creative person out there.
Hmm.
Um, use technology, use the online as your friend. Try
Yeah,
to come up with ideas.
yeah. Yeah, I love how you say it. I mean, it's strategies, they're choices, but before you make the choice, you just got to have some confidence. I mean, time will tell once you do it that this particular strategy is going to reach the people that we're targeting. Um, and otherwise, you're just throwing stuff against the wall and hoping to God it sticks and not really knowing. So just pressure test that. Um, and the other thing is that's sort of very tactical, a common source of frustration with an offline tactic is how do we know if this is working? And I have a couple of unrelated thoughts to that. One is if you're doing it consistently and you're doing it authentically and your name is getting out in front of people, on the one hand, you're never going to quite know. But on the other hand, your name is getting more and more recognized. Just know that that's true. But if you do it 1 or 2 years and you didn't get 15 patients and therefore it sucked, it didn't work, again, strategy outcome is a mismatch. You put too much burden on that strategy. The other thing, though, is that there are some ways to track. So here's an example. And I got this question from a client. They sponsor Little League or like travel baseball in our community. And what they do is on the outfield wall in the baseball field is
Yep.
their big poster. How do I know this is working? Well, the way you have it set up, you don't. But here's what you could do. Step one, put a QR code on there. Step two, have that QR code go to a unique website page that the only way you get to it is that QR code with a little form. Make the page, we're such big supporters of travel baseball, blah, 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 blah. And that way, that anybody who found you, who you get a prospect submission form from that page, the only place they could have found it was on that poster at that baseball field or at that approach. Really easy. But people just don't necessarily think, I mean, I think of these things, so it's easy for me, but that could be, but so, there are ways to track things. Now, are you going to stick a QR code on the back of a jersey about the catcher? No, but so there's
That's
just,
interesting. Yeah.
yeah. Now, another way is you can have unique phone numbers. That's one way. There's just tools that are really inexpensive where you can have a unique phone number, where that if they call that number, well, the only place they could have seen it is there. And so there it is. Some easy ways to, but it's a very fair question. I've had a couple of clients do stuff and I said, just ask them how they're going to track because it's like ads in magazines or this or that. And the unfortunate answer is, well, we don't. And I'm like, well,
So hard.
I don't think, if your heart's set on this, it's your money, not mine. But
Number one thing. I
you're
mean,
never going to know.
spending money is needed, but my gosh, you got to be able to track this.
Yeah.
And in this, and step one, at the very basic level, and when the person at the front desk is answering the phone, how did you hear about us? It should be one of the very first questions.
Yes.
I'd like to schedule. Oh, great. How'd you hear about us? Unfortunately, despite how perfect that is, how needed it is, it's not perfect because, I just heard your name in the community. I heard your name come up. Well,
Yeah.
it doesn't give you the answer, right?
That's
It's
true.
great, but did they see this billboard? Did they see this flyer? Did they see a friend or referral online? It could have been all of those things, and cumulatively, that's how they could have led them to call, right?
Right.
Or if they saw some advertisement on the outfield wall, but then they went and Googled you, right? It's not saying that flyer, that advertisement on the outfield wall did it, right?
Right.
And so it's how'd you hear about us? Oh, great. Did you happen to see where did you see this, right? One of my clients at the time had a bunch of actual old school billboards.
Okay.
And they had different color billboards.
Interesting.
And so, you saw one of our billboards? Oh, which
color? Smart.
So then,
I love that.
Now they know, hey, the green one where it has this much traffic, that one's working really well. Whereas the blue one, we're not getting a lot of people saying that one, so we're not going to renew that one next year.
I love that.
Right. And so it's color coding it. It's again not perfect.
Yeah.
But it's a way to try to track this, and which is so important. So important when it comes to marketing.
I love that. Yeah. Like there's a company called callrail.com, one word, no affiliation. For not a lot of money, you can get a bank at like 10 phone numbers. They're all unique. And you can stick them on up to 10 different things and just, track it, see what happens. You go out with a good idea. This is designed to work X, the posted, whatever, the signs all over the outfield wall. It's designed to work. Let's see what happens. It's the cost of the poster or the cost of the sign plus the cost of it's not a lot. And just see. So consistency, tracking, and if there's literally no way to track X, man, oh man. I mean, now at the same time, your name out there, I just said, like, just trust that it's going to happen, but maybe be a little more little more frugal on those things because it's branding. And
Yeah.
on the one hand, branding is inarguably important. On the other hand, really, really hard to track. And so, you know, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And
Um,
and kind of piggybacking off of that, kind of depends on your specialty too.
yeah.
If my dental specialist, my oral surgeons, my endodontist, my orthodontist, right? They are really relying on the general dentist to send them
Mm-hmm.
a lot of patients, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's where most of their offline marketing should be spent.
Yes. You know what? I'm glad. Keep going. We
And
skipped this, but
so
yeah.
the online stuff's still important, but you are trying to develop relationships with those general dentists who are then going to be referring you patients,
Yeah.
right? Because you are so reliant on that. At the
Yeah.
same token, despite it seeming like a one-way street, what those general dentists want so much more than anything, they are happy. They love the cookies, they love the fruit baskets, and the whatever you give them in return. The reason why they are sending you their patients is because you will do a good job and you are communicating it back to them.
Mm-hmm.
They want nothing more than to be able to hand off their patient knowing that they are going to be taken care of
Yeah.
because it is their name on the line, not that specialist necessarily,
Yeah.
right? Because they're referring those patients are trusting their dentist in this
Mm-hmm.
example to say, hey, go see this person.
Yeah.
And if that falls flat, it looks bad on not just the specialist, but that general dentist who they've had a long-standing relationship with. And
And guess
now,
what? It's going to dry up.
now they won't send, now that one patient is upset, but that doesn't pair into comparison. Now that dentist is not sending you any patients.
Correct. Correct.
So
And I don't know about you, but they're not giving me anything. Well, that's selfish. I mean, I don't have to know anything else. I just heard selfish. So what is it they need? It's exact. So in this case, your target market is that referring dentist, specialist, whatever. Meet with them. What do you need? What makes, from your point of view, what makes a great relationship between you and me? What are your requirements? And then meet them, just like you do with patients. You'll stand out, the flow will continue. Um, and think beyond your own area. So, like to me, every general dentist ought to meet with every primary care doctor and pediatrician in the area.
yep.
You know, I mean, I wonder how many are, but they
Again, it's
should.
that general health community,
Yes.
right?
Yes. We both
Uh,
treat kids. Let's talk. I mean, let's get to know
you
each
know,
other. Yeah.
and
Let's
we
reinforce each
we
other.
as a family got involved. We were referred to our pediatrician from the OBGYN,
Yeah.
right? And we love our pediatrician.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely love it. We would have never found her.
Mm-hmm.
We would have never found her
Mm-hmm.
without
Hmm.
him.
Mm-hmm.
And 9 years later, right?
Yeah.
So again, it's about developing your network of people, your centers of influence, your people that can help, that kind of like-minded. I
Mm-hmm.
tell all my clients who are looking to like start up a practice or buy a practice,
Mm-hmm.
I said, once you find one person on your team, and you like them and that you trust them, chances are they know the other people you need.
Mm-hmm.
They will help you assemble your team. You
Yeah.
meet with you find an attorney you like, great. Chances are they know the banker you should use, they know the accountant you should,
Yeah.
right? They know all the people. And same thing here. If
Mm-hmm.
you find a provider that you
Mm-hmm.
like, chances are they know other people in the other specialists, other areas that you might need.
Yeah.
Ask.
Yeah.
And again, that's why it's so important as a private practice owner is to develop those relationships even outside of your scope,
Yes.
outside of your area, because chances are that will pay dividends.
Yeah. There's a networking organization called BNI, and they figured out a lot of things really well. And to me, the most important one is called Giver's Gain. It's like their motto. Giver's Gain is so true.
Yeah.
You know, takers fade and givers gain.
Yeah.
I made up the takers fade part, but it's true. You know, you see it in groups. I was in a group for a while. The takers kind of faded away, and the givers, man, they prospered. Why? Because you get back, but you got to help. You got to help first. Um, this is great. We always cover a lot, as we said at the outset. There's a lot of don't overthink marketing, think logically, keep it simple, keep it consistent. Make sure you have some inkling of, is this working or not? And don't launch until you either one, figure out a way to do it, or two, make your piece that you can't.
And there's one more I do want to address, and I think a lot of people go into the healthcare field because they want to do good, right? The money can be important, right? Don't get me wrong, but they want to provide a good service to people. They want to give to the community.
Right.
And another way of doing that is education and speaking. And if you can find ways to speak at the library, or speak at some sort of event, or educate and host people in your office and educate patients, and not just your patients, but anybody in the community that wants to know about proper oral hygiene and what you need to do, or the mental health in this society nowadays, and the issues with cell phones, and why you shouldn't be giving them to your kids until they're in high school, right? All these little things that offer opportunities.
No matter what, you're
sharing.
right. No matter what type of specialist or generalist or whatever you are within your field are a trillion topics that you could educate on. You could. It works.
And whether that is a quick 1 minute TikTok or whatever, doing that via social, or really hosting an event in your office or something, or in the library or community center, about bringing people together. And we're all trying to, we're all part of the same village. We're all trying to be mindful, again, that helps you educate your patients and potential patients.
It
helps spread your brand and your awareness to the community.
Those
are great opportunities. I'm all about educating.
Here's one example, actually. A client pediatrics practice, they do these occasional new parents classes. So first time parents, what to expect. It's an hour. It's free. It's who better. I mean, you just had your baby. Now what?
I've been to one. My gosh. Now
I wish we had one. I mean, we didn't sleep for 9 days, and I almost got my sister to change her flights because I had almost convinced her that she was the only one who knew what she was doing. I said, in 20 minutes, our son's going to cry and we don't know what to do, but you do. You have to stay. And she almost did. That class would have been perfect.
Gosh. Seems like a lifetime ago. Now you're like, man, what was I worrying about? Like,
I know, right? And then a friend of mine asked about kid number 2. I'm like, oh, you know it all. It's just, no questions. Anything you think we should have covered we didn't get to?
No, I think thinking of creative ways other than the online social media thing is important. Getting involved in the community, being able to track it, and really finding ways to educate. I think those are the main takeaways from this. Are super important.
I think one thing I'll add is, if you're looking, another way to look for ideas about let's just take this one. How do we get more involved in the community? Ask your patients. They probably know different ways. Hey, if I'm a primary care doctor, and we just, we want to get more involved. What would you recommend we do? And somebody will have, there's this other organization that you probably never would have heard of, or there's this thing, or there's this way, or I know somebody who, or it's a little bit of legwork, but they know, especially if they've lived there for any length of time. And pick different groups, pick family members, pick singles, pick senior citizens, pick whatever. How would I get involved in the community? What do you know? What would you recommend we do?
Different demographics. Absolutely. They're important.
How can someone get started with all this? The context is Joe's right. We talk about this, or he's right, but they just don't know where to start. Maybe we've already tackled that, but what would you?
Well, hopefully you have a team of people that can help direct you in a way. I know a little bit to make me dangerous in some ways. I don't know how to get involved in XYZ community, but talk to people. As you mentioned, I think you hit it. talk to your patients, talk to the Chamber of Commerce, talk to a marketing agency, right? Talk to these different people that can really help guide you.
Yeah.
I think Carl, you're big on you're part of what you do is social media, but more strategy too. It's not necessarily like, hey, I'm not going to do this for you, but I can help brainstorm this and let's
Right.
talk about it.
Yeah.
And I know from experience, like you've directed into different, hey, talk to this person, or hey, talk to this person. They can do this, right? That's it's finding those people that can point you in the right direction.
Yeah. And I would think, and be patient with it. The way I like to say it is this. So you've got this question. How do I, I want to get more involved in our community, or I want to get more, do more of these things. I don't know what to do. So that's the problem statement. So the problem's going to get bigger before it gets smaller. And the reason for that is with every person you talk to, they're going to tell you something you obviously didn't know, and you got to, chase that lead down. But eventually it starts to make sense and you get better at it. Just be patient with it. The beautiful thing about that is that most of your competition will give up somewhere along that way. And that when you finally crack a code, you've got a lot less competition left because they all gave up on the journey. So stick with it, giver's gain, try things, make sure there's some sort of tracking mechanism, and don't overthink it. Be patient. Marketing, no matter how much we would love to think, and sometimes we are urged to make it happen overnight, it just doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way. Cool. Well, Joe, thank you for coming on either the fifth or sixth time to continue to help us all understand how we can get better and stay private. Really appreciate it. So thanks for coming back.
Thanks for having me.
As with all of your other episodes, the contact information that we have for you is in the show notes for the episode. So anybody who wants to get a hold of Joe at Professional Business Management, you got another way to do it. A couple points before we wrap up. First, Practice Care is one word. Subscribe to Practice Care. Just search for us. You'll find us. We're on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, anywhere you listen to podcasts. Super easy to find. New episode every week. Subscribing is the easiest way to get them. And also, if you're like Joe or us and you serve private practice owners, or you're one yourself, either way, you've got some experience on the business side of private practice, and don't overthink that. Something simple, you think, nobody else is dealing with this. I promise you other people are. In the show notes for every episode, there's a link, a couple of clicks. Take you a minute, tell us what you've got, and we'll get you scheduled as soon as possible. Thanks very much, and until next time.